In this video, I want to go into chapter 3 of No Self, No Problem. It's probably the most important chapter of the book because I make a very explicit connection between having a self and how this creates the idea of problems. And we can start off by asking, do you even need a self? Well, for some people, the idea of a self actually works, and they manage to get by life pretty smoothly with having a concept of self. And so this doesn't really apply to everyone, but for some people who have anxiety, depression, they're just all around miserable. One of the ideas in chapter 3 is that it's the idea of having a self that's at the source of so many of these problems. So let's just consider two different days. So the first day, you have to make a presentation and you go to work and your boss has had a bad day and so he takes all of his problems out on you. And then as you're leaving, you notice in the parking lot your car got sideswiped and now you have to fix it. And so that's a lot of problems, but they're all your problems. Let's imagine the exact same day as far as the universe is concerned, except none of this happens to you. So in this other day, you go to work, but someone else has to give a presentation. Someone else gets yelled at from their boss, and someone else has their car sideswiped and they have to fix it. And that sounds almost too simple to be true, but it makes a very explicit connection that when we talk about problems, we're not just talking about problems in general. We're talking about problems that seem to be connected with our idea of a self. So if you can buy that, then where does the idea of a self come in? Because that seems to be part of the problem. Well, it turns out that on your shoulders, in your skull, you have the most advanced pattern perception machine in the universe. Human beings are so skilled at seeing patterns that we actually see them even when there's nothing there to be seen. Have you noticed all the conspiracy theories lately? Conspiracy theories and hallucinations and all these times we get it wrong. We look into the stars and we can't help but to see patterns are all the outcome of having an amazing machine that is capable of not just seeing patterns, but even making up patterns when none exist. In fact, there's even a test that you take online all the time. And what they'll do is they'll have some bizarre font that you've never seen before. And we're so good at telling that that's a H or whatever letter it is, that that's the way they can tell that we're a real genuine human and not a machine, because the machines cannot match us in pattern perception at this point. And so when I was talking about all the things the left brain does in terms of language, categorization, and beliefs, and how judgment is at the core of all this, well, at the core of judgment itself is this advanced pattern perception machine. And so it's like a detective trying to figure out a mystery. And so it takes all these clues and it comes to some kind of judgment based on its ability to see the clues themselves, which require the ability to perceive meaningful patterns and sometimes what is just a chaos. So I'll leave you with a question. If you had this amazing machine that could perceive patterns, even some times when there's nothing there to even be seen, what were the chances that it wouldn't at one point look inward and think that there's a self there, even if there isn't?